Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Wimbledon Spiritualist Service, virtually from our home and our medium's home, Dorothy. Welcome you, Dorothy. It's great to have you here. We've spoken over the phone the last couple of days, so welcome, Dorothy.
Thank you.
And Leslie also will be taking part in our service from her home. Welcome, Leslie. One of the first things I need to apologise for, Jackie and I have both got croaky voices, so it's not spirit trying to come through and do direct voice. It's literally just our hay fever's caught up with us both this morning. But I'd like to welcome you here and have a wonderful service. I'd like to open with prayer, and then afterwards Jackie will do the healing moments. Heavenly Father, we come into thy presence this day, our Father, Mother God, to seek communion with thee and our loved ones from the realms of spirit. Be our guide and constant companion during this day, and we'd ask you to send us love, truth and enlightenment, to not only to our hearts but to our minds as well, that we can become instruments of thy peace upon this earth. In invoking your presence and the angelic host, we also ask our loved ones to come close and guide us this morning. So with love and strength, we dedicate our service to thee, our Father, Mother God, to the divine, the light within us all, the source of our beginnings and the source to our continued life. So mote it be. Amen. Jackie.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. It's lovely to be back with you again this week. And I'd like you to be able to sit quietly and to join with us in the healing moments. And I want to take us into a little healing meditation, which I call the Rainbow Healing Bridge. We have had some names for people that need healing. I want to ask you to send healing to Rosie Din and family. And if I can just ask you to imagine that you've gone outside and that you're actually suddenly seeing this wonderful rainbow, and this rainbow goes right to the ground, and I want you to walk into the rainbow, and the rainbow is full of energy. It's colour energy, and the first colour is red. So feel that wonderful energy of red giving you strength, but it's also the colour of our frustrations and our irritations. And I want you to just think of all the things that have really irritated you in this last week, whether it's seeing the four walls around you and getting frustrated that you're still not able to get out, whether it's like me, I now have a fringe that's down to my nose and I'm so agitated with my hair. But think of all the things that have agitated and upset you. I want you to just imagine that you've written them all down on a piece of paper, all the things you're niggly about. It may even be about fear. And from that, I want you to say, write it all on a piece of paper and then screw that piece of paper up into a ball and to throw it out. Because we start again, one day or day one. This is our one thing we can change is our attitude. If we can't change our circumstances, then we can change our attitude. So therefore I want us to walk out of the red energy light and go into the lovely yellow energy. And it's a bit like having the buttercups under your chin. Imagine that you're fully glowing from head to toe in this wonderful yellow. And yellow is the colour of the sun, of the warmth of the sun. But in the way that the sun comes down and we get engulfed in that wonderful yellow, think of it as a sunflower, which is the emblem of spiritualism. It's the time that we can actually learn. It's the time that we can be aware of new things around us. So use this yellow energy to take in new things, new understanding, spiritual understanding. And then I want you to move swiftly into the next colour of the rainbow. And this is a pink energy. And when we're engulfed in this pink energy, I want you to imagine putting your arms out to all of your family. Whether you have grandchildren you've not been able to pick up and cuddle, or you have elderly family that you're not able to see, imagine this wonderful pink blanket around them, stretching from you to them. and put this pink blanket around the earth. And in this pink colour of the love, family and friends, I also think of our family that we have at church. I call you all my church family, and I'm missing you all very much, seeing you physically. I watch all the comments that you have on WhatsApp every day, all the hellos in the morning and the goodbyes and night times in the evening. But I do miss physically seeing you. So in this pink energy, I just want to embrace you and embrace that love, and to say that together we will keep ourselves strong. We will accept this lovely healing colour and know that we will get through this by our family and our friends. And just stay in this pink energy for just a few seconds. And then I want you to just slowly walk into a green energy. And this is the wonderful energy of all the trees and the forest, the newness of the bushes, new plants, all the lovely summer bedding plants we've not been able to go out and see, all the wonderful garden centres with all their flowers in. But the green is grounding us. It's the colour of nature. It's the colour of honesty, where nothing is changed. It's just the pure energy of being grounded. And I want you to imagine yourself standing by the trees, and imagine your feet going down into roots into the ground to keep you steady and strong. I want you to imagine yourself hugging a tree, a giant oak tree, or a giant redwood. And then the next colour I want you to walk through is a beautiful energy colour of orange. And as we feel ourselves in the middle of this wonderful orange energy, orange to me is the colour of vitality. This is the colour that I want you to wish upon everyone that you know and those that you don't know. For people that are recovering from illnesses, to give them that energy of vitality, to strengthen their bodies, strengthen their mind and their souls, and to know that vitality will keep them well, keep them going, and help them in their recovery. Just sap up this wonderful orange energy before we move into our next energy colour. And then I want us to go into the beautiful purple colour. And this wonderful serenity of purple. Imagine yourself surrounded by amethyst. And this is our colour of philosophy. It's the colour of teachings and spiritual energy. I want you to imagine this colour around all of those that may be transitioning into the spirit world at this moment. Those whose physical life is having to come to an end and will be going on their greatest ever journey. Give them that beautiful purple energy that they may comprehend and understand the transition that is happening with them. May all their loved ones be there in this purple energy to help and assist them. And finally, I want you to go into the colour of blue. And blue is our main healing colour. And in this colour, this is where I want you to do all of your distant healing to all of those names in our healing books, all of those names that we know and that friends know, and all the people all around the world that are having difficulty at this time. But to think of all the people, our key workers, that are having that strength and courage to continue to work in conditions that may affect their lives. Give them this beautiful blue energy around them, and the blue energy around the hospitals and the sick beds, and all of those that are at home that possibly should have had medical help that have been fearful of going out. And just stay around this blue energy. Be aware in this wonderful blue haze that the healing angels have come forward and are surrounding us. They are taking the names of the people that we know, They're being sent forth on their mission to help all of those that are in need, that have asked for help, and those that we have now asked them to help. Just take a couple of deep breaths before we leave this blue energy. So we will be doing a meditation at the very end of the service for ourselves. This is a moment where we can send out healing to all of those. And to Mother Earth. Just imagine Mother Earth in this beautiful blue energy. And the animal kingdom. Everywhere there is in need of healing. And healing for all of our governments, that they may wisely direct us for our future path, and to give us the strength for us to lose the fear of going through the next steps. There is a light at the end of a tunnel. We will get through this all together. We know that our healing angels are now leaving us and taking our words, our names with them to go to those areas in need. And we thank our Father, Mother God, and healing angels, for we know that thy work will be done. Amen. Okay. So if we all come back to ourselves and make sure we're nicely grounded back in our own places.
Wonderful.
Okay, and I've just heard from Richard that we've already got about 140 people that have sent messages through. So I'd like to say hello to a few of these people before I pass the next part of the service on to Dot. So it's very much a welcome to Dot, who's joining us for the very first time. We look forward to working Dot to our church at a later time. Now, Cheryl, I know you, Cheryl. You're saying morning all, so it's wonderful to see you this morning. This is our only chance in the week to often see our friends. And Michael, morning everyone, he's saying, so thank you, Michael, for joining us again this morning. It's wonderful that we know that you're all sitting in your homes. And Mary, okay, and George and Denise, all saying good morning, wonderful to have you. And Michelle, wonderful to hear you, Michelle, and to see your notes. Phil, wonderful to see you. Janine, right, good morning, Janine. Julie, right, good morning to you. Natalie, good morning. Tracy, Wendy, Melissa, so to those of you that may be new, to Christine, and I've seen Christine's name before. Yvonne, Kat MT, I know I've seen your name before. Teresa, I know some of you may be joining us first time. Kim, lovely to see you down from the coast. Vivian, welcome. Anthony, lovely to see you.
Morning,
Anthony.
Tony.
Alwyn, good morning. Alwyn, we missed your music. Georgie, hello and welcome. George, again, hello. Yes, good morning to you. Susan, good morning. Okay, and Susan was from Plymouth. And Stacey, good morning. So sorry I can't get round to the 140.
Morning, Tracy.
But, we're now going to...
someone called Ashley Robinson. Good morning.
So wonderful. I think we ought to have a service just by saying hello to everyone. And we still wouldn't have enough time. So, as I say, we're now going to go on to our clairvoyant part of the service. So please give all your love and attention to Dot. And remember what we've said, we need to have your acknowledgement that you can understand and exactly what you're saying you understand, because we're moving at a pace which is a little bit faster than the YouTube and Facebook. So we need to know what it is that you're saying hello to. So,
and accepted.
And accepted. Just that, yes, I can understand that, so that
and
we
what
can
you understand.
narrow it down, what you can understand. Yes, he was a dog lover. Yes, he loved his flowers. Yes, he loved his pint, those sort of things. Okay, so we're going to hand over to Dot. Welcome. And next part of the service is over to you with much love. Thank you, Dot.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So let's get straight into the mediumship. What I do have, please, and warm to you all, I have a lovely gentleman here. He makes me very much aware that he's a tall man. He did have a very much love of tobacco, and he would be letting me know that he would have a special brand. Now, I'm not one and connoisseur for tobacco, but I believe there might be a brand, Silverstone or something like that, but I know, please, that link is very, very strong. So he is actually Dad here. You'll know him for, he says, a sense of arrogance, and he's very happy to actually put it in this way, because what he's saying is if you're not specific about detail, then nobody understands what you're talking about. Now, anybody, please, a lovely gentleman, he's Dad. He's a very tall man. He liked to be smart. You gave him his ties. There is a tie, a yellow and grey one, which he's showing to me. And you remember his love of tobacco and his point of view. And I'll carry on, because you'll remember the shed. You'll remember the shed in the garden, because just before he passed, you actually discovered that there was quite a lot of memorabilia that he'd kept out there. And I know that was, when you looked in the shed when he'd passed, there was a lot of clearing out to do. Now, am I with anybody now? Now, he did pass, please. So Dad passed with a heart attack. This was very, very sudden. So you'll know that your dad passed suddenly to the spirit world. Oh, don't hold out on me, you lovely people. All right, which is perfect. Let me now, he just wants to remember those ties. It's like Christmas, birthday. Right, birthday slippers, Christmas a tie. Is that where I've lost you all? Ah, okay. Sandra, you'll know, please, about your dad as being Grandad, yes? Of course, bless you, because of course he is a dad. And being a dad, you remember, please, his point of view? You remember that he liked to take audience, and you remember the stories about the wartime. And I know, please, that you remember this heart attack. Let me just carry on, because it's about this now, the shed. I know that I want to find and refine this because of what work had to be done in clearing out the shed. Now, he'd also liked to have a little plot in the garden for vegetables. He's actually showing me the cabbages. Okay. Bless you, thank you. Yes, because I did feel, Dad, please. It's about the ties. Can you understand birthdays and Christmas, the ties and the slippers? Yeah, no, I really want to find someone who understands about buying these ties. And these are, of course, worn round the neck. And the slippers, please. can I work with you then, Gloria? Would you please understand that you would have bought your dad presents, birthday and Christmas, that may have included a pair of slippers and that occasional tie? And it was a heart attack that took Dad to the spiritual world. Okay, so thank you, Gloria. Let me come back then, please, to you, Sandra, because I know that Dad is taking audience here. I know that he loved, well, in fact, Granddad, he is a dad. He sees himself in that father figure. He was very, very close to you, but you'll understand that you had lots of lovely conversations with him. You understand that, and you can take the tie and the slippers. Right. Okay, so I'm still working with you, Gloria. I'm asking then Dad if he can just refine this for me. Right. I know here that if I'm working with you, Gloria, I actually know with this sudden heart attack that you actually heard this news by the telephone. Do challenge me for my first time on this platform. Bless you. Just Sandra, let me just feel here that because I did ask if you'd heard this news from the telephone, that you heard the news of your grandfather's passing from the telephone. Yes. And so let me just stay with you for a moment and I'll come back to Gloria. Let me just stay with you, Sandra, for a moment, because this was quite a little delay from when this happened. And I know that in this situation, you had to give, well, of course, because of your work with the spiritual world, you were able to give a tremendous amount of support to the rest of the family. And I know, please, that you had this communication with your grandfather almost within your mind. So I know that you sort of almost felt this could possibly happen. Can I just say to you that Grandad is here for you today, and this shed that you remember would have actually had some very happy memories for you. I'm just waiting for your yes for that, Sandra. I want to move on to know that you're actually doing some writing at the moment. Your granddad is making me aware that you're actually reading more at the moment and you're actually doing a fair amount of writing. Yes, that's it. So, Sandra, Gloria is also with us on board for the information, but I'm specifically bringing this to you, Sandra, because of your intuition, your work with spirit, the fact that you were able to know all about this. And in a way, this feels like quite some time ago that this happened, but it would have been momentous at the time. And I do feel that Grandad's saying it actually established much more of your link with spirit and gave you much more courage in the work that you're doing. So I'm going to move on back to Gloria now by saying that sometimes when we, as you know, oh, good, you are reading more and organising a book at the moment. So he wants very much to work with you to support, to give his love, his encouragement, his closeness, this would be so poignant and special. So you have all love, support, guidance. Keep writing and let that unfold in a very special way. Thank you so much, Sandra, for working with me. I'm going to come, please, to Gloria. And here we are, Gloria. You could understand all this information. It wasn't about the ties. It wasn't about the slippers. It was more about that garden shed and some of those stories. I know too that you also, as you're giving back this feedback to me, you're also a psychic. You work with the spiritual world. You're also looking at developing this deeper and more meaningful. And Dad's making me know that in fact you've promoted yourself with this lockdown, whatever we're calling it. It's a bit like me. We're embracing new technology, but you've been doing this for a long period of time, and that means that you are ready and very proficient in this technology. And you're actually looking at expanding this more and more. You're also writing, you're also embracing more of media. And Dad just wants to remind us how it felt, because it was sudden, it was a shock. And again, you were being able to bring so much support, love to the rest of the family. His love is very deep and meaningful to you. His love, he says it's unmeasurable. And I know that you bring this love to others, and you probably use that word, unconditional and unmeasurable. And I know that he's very much in speed with your thoughts, your words and terminology that you use. He brings forward a signet ring. Can you understand that, please? It feels as if it's been passed around the family. And it may well be that you haven't got it yet, but you will be receiving it. Does that make sense? Bless you. That's perfect. That's absolutely perfect. And you remember, as he just leaves you now, you remember he used to put that handkerchief in his pocket. He never went out without that handkerchief in his pocket and the comb in his top pocket. Because I know he always liked to be smart and very much, purposeful, smart, purposeful. And he brings my thoughts back to that early part of the information that we used that word arrogance. And I apologize in a way for that word. But if you understand that at the moment, some element around you needs extra courage, and I do believe you'll understand this, that you are actually holding a lot of courage for your communication and your work. It may be that you've had a little bit of criticism which was unfounded. Your dad is strong to say, don't listen to anybody else. You have this link with spirit so strong. And you're doing a great job. All is love. And let me finish and I'll move on. Thank you. So as I move away, here, it's a lovely lady. I've got the name Gloria, could be her name, could be your name. I've just been working with a Gloria, so I've obviously that name is key in my head. So I do believe I'm moving away from you, Gloria, but I may well have a Gloria in the spirit world, or the name Gloria links with the lady that I have. She is okay. She talks about cancer here. She talks about a lot of nausea, a lot of sickness, and a lot of courage that she had to bring for her. She tried to give me a name of a road here. Right, there's Mavis Road, or the name of Mavis. So I could have a Mavis that links with her, or it could be Mavis Road. There's a contact too, there's a connection with Silverstone. So that would be actually a racetrack. So there may be something that links with you that's about a racetrack. So coming back to my lovely lady, all right, she is a very proud lady. She had this cancer. She had this nausea and sickness to start with, and that's what took her to the doctor to investigate what was going on, because she just thought she had some heartburn. She thought she just had a gastric problem. All right, and I know she's talking about once the investigation through the doctor was done, she went to hospital for tests. She found that she had actually an extensive tumour within the stomach. I've probably still stayed with Gloria. So if you understand, they all want to come in for you, because there's a Peter here as well, and you'll know Charlie, please, in the spirit world. They're all coming in, and this wonderful lady wants to join you as well. And her message is, because you understand the information with the cancer, you understand about the nausea and sickness, you understand that there was lots of conversation that the two of you had, and she wants to just come in before we let you go, that she appreciated your love and your support and everything that you gave for her in understanding the angelic world and how we pass to spirit. This is really key of her message today. And I know that this is not for me to expand upon this, which comes in our philosophy, but I know that you are bringing through that philosophy of how we pass to spirit and what we can expect, so that we take away this fear of our transition and the beauty of the spiritual world. Thank you, Gloria, for staying with me there and taking this lovely lady to your heart as you always did. Bless you. Oh, okay. Gloria, I'm going to trust this dog hasn't come bounding in with you, because I've got the most large Alsatian dog here. He loved walking a seafront, and I feel as if I've actually gone down to Devon. I feel as if I've actually got, again, a gentleman here, and there's a very strong link with Devon. And I just feel as if I've got you, whoever you are, I've got you walking along a cliff top with this wonderful gentleman. So there's a lovely memory, please, of a cliff top down in Devon, and I know that he's talking about Poole also. That's probably now in Devon, since they changed the Hampshire, Dorset, whatever is Devon borders, but it might be that you remember the Devon, but you also remember Poole, the harbour, please, at Poole. So I've got a gentleman. he does feel that grandfather, father figure here. He knows that he wants me to let you know, please, that he did pass quite some time ago. And what else can he give me? I've got this Alsatian dog. Don't forget the dog, please. Walking the dog. And he's making me very much aware of cufflinks. So I'm not sure perhaps whether you bought this wonderful gentleman cufflinks. So let me see if I've got anyone there that's speaking to me to say, yes, I know, Dad. Pauline, it could be with you, my darling. You understand these places and the Alsatian dog. He's a lovely dog, I have to say. I'm not sure about Alsatian dogs, you see. I had a poodle when I was growing up, a little bit smaller. Okay, let me see how he passed to spirit. He makes me very much aware of breathing difficulties. I wonder whether, in fact, he is making me aware of a pneumonia that was very much there, which took him to the spiritual world. Lots of memories here. He's just full of memories. Yes, that's what I want, please. So who? Sharon. Sharon, can I please work with you, because you'd understand the cufflinks. This is very, very significant, whether you bought the cufflinks, but they are something that he was very proud of, something he enjoyed wearing and using. And this wonderful dog, and as you say, the breathing, you can understand this breathing was so difficult for him. And it feels as if, please, that he'd had some pneumonia in his life, almost as if he's making me aware that when he was a child, he's had that sort of, we always call it, don't we, the weakness in the chest. And so, you know, if he got a nasty cold, it would always go to his chest. He's a lovely, lovely man, Sharon, and I just want to bring his message through to you here. You're being very patient at the moment. You understand that he was very, very patient. You've got a large family, and there is, right, we always used to, Grandad says, we always used to write letters. You would write letters, Sharon, to him. That makes sense, please. Yes, those chest infections were very difficult for him. And he's just talking about cards that you would have sent, letters that would have been exchanged in the family. And you would understand also photographs of you as a small child in his back garden. I can see them very clearly. Lots of memories, and there is a bench seat that would have been in that garden. It got a little bit it's got a little bit old and needed a bit of repair, but you know, you remember perhaps it was there in that garden. this communication of letters, again, you must actually be writing at the moment. You must feel that perhaps you need to perhaps keep a diary. Perhaps you do keep a diary. Grandad is very, very close, watching what you write, what your thoughts are wonderful with the spirit world, how they can be so close because each thought is an energy. Each thought is an energy, so they can pick that up and understand your thoughts and your deliberations. I feel very much that you are deciding, there's an option at the moment. It feels about where you're living at the moment, and you've got to make perhaps a decision. Yeah, quite a decision. Take your time. Take your time. And take it steady. By writing your diary, this putting your thoughts down helps you to make decisions. And I know that you will make the right decision because Grandad is so close to you. There's this feeling of the two of them, Grandad and Nan. Yeah. They're now both in the spiritual world. I feel that Grandad passed, in fact, before your Nan, but they are now together, and their love, their closeness is there always for you. Just one last thought. He's making me aware of photography. Are you putting, please, some photographs together? Or have you been taking photographs to create something, perhaps on a website, something that's promoting you? Because I know that these photographs, you might just be putting photographs on Facebook, but I know that you're very much enjoying experimenting with photography. So just seeing if you can understand what I have here from Grandad. And this lovely, bless you. Right, so I understand that I've got Nan and Grandad just the wrong way round there, but you'd understand how that they are very much close together, and you are taking lots of photographs. Thank you so much for working with me this morning. Their love and closeness is with you and will stay with you today and all the days to come. Oh, before I go with you, I've just got all these pies. It's like Grandad likes steak and kidney pie, and Nan's got so much pastry and baking, and it's like I can see just all this cooking coming out of the oven. So you must have been there, the jam tarts. And I know, please, that you played cards with Grandad. All right, so I'm going to say thank you for working with me, and I will see what else I can connect, how this will go. God bless, and thank you for working with me. So I'm now another gentleman. I've got the name Charlie. It's like Charlie Farley. Yeah. Okay. So I must have a gentleman here, first and foremost, with a wonderful sense of humour. All right. And in his sense of humour, all right, he must have accepted that within the family, he had a nickname. I'd love to have the nickname, but he may well give that to me because I started to go Charlie Farley, Charlie, and he then just said Charlie and the chocolate, factory. He has got his sense of humour. He's not so tall. He didn't worry about his weight. He's, really quite a broad man, and he knows about a belly laugh, all right? So when he laughed, it's almost as if he's sitting here with me, holding his belly and having this wonderful laugh. Humour is really special for you. Do you know, there is this, I'm lost for my words at the moment. There's this sort of like-mindedness. That's what I want. That's what I want, like-mindedness. Now, I need to speak to someone who understands this belly laugh, this gentleman in the spirit world, this build, all right? He again still comes on that link of father, grandfather. I don't feel as if I'm going to uncle. I feel I'm very close family with him. He had quite a little bit of hair loss, so it's getting very thin, and he's showing me this wonderful bald patch just on the top of the head, and he's got brown, oh, this is very specific. He's got brown eyes and they're deep and glorious. In a way, you must have brown, it's like snap. All right, so am I connecting, please, with someone out there? Oh, good. So he must be, sometimes when we feel dad, granddad, and then they say, oh, I don't feel as if I'm an uncle. Sometimes with relationships, of course, he is an uncle, yeah, Uncle Charlie. But of course, he's also a dad. He can also be a granddad. So if you're, let me work with you, Stacey, you have Uncle Charlie. And will you remember that little bit of hair loss? Was he a little bit proud about his hair? And he's showing me his wallet. It's a brown leather wallet, and he's reminding me about his beautiful deep brown eyes. Perhaps from that wallet he would take a note. It's like I'm taking a note out of that wallet. So in other words, those visits would have been very special when you got together. And there's a feeling that he would never let that visit or that time together not be celebrated with perhaps a little bit of money out of this wallet. I like this about his hair because he was very proud, and there's a feeling, in fact, that, you know, we were sort of thinking about earlier about with this lock in, lock out, lock down, we're all struggling and need to get back to the hairdressers very, very quickly. So there must be something in your conversation that I'm saying to you that you did something yesterday that was quite drastic. So you sorted something drastic about your hair. Now, this is a public platform, so we won't talk about what you've done with your hair. But I love always when our loved ones give us something that, you know, has happened right now, so that we know how close they are. Uncle Charlie did have a heart problem. He makes me very much aware of that, but he says if I was to go into all my different ailments, I could list them. It's like they're as long as my arm. So you understand, he didn't celebrate good health, but he, with his belly laugh, always looked on the bright side of life. And I want to say to you that you know, you've actually found that you can find the bright side of life. Very positive. You are very, very positive, and you're keeping positive, not just for yourself, but everyone around you. So well done, you. And cast your mind back to those visits a long time ago, and you know that you've used, your Uncle Charlie makes me aware that you've used your knowledge and understanding of the family, those family times. You recollect them, they're precious to you, but you're creating family get-togethers now the best way that you can. I know that family is very, very important to you. So, Stacey, thank you for working with me. Your uncle's love is there. He wants to work with you always, be close to you, be remembered by you. He makes me aware of a bicycle. I just wonder whether he either helped you with that money towards buying a bicycle, or there's a family memory of when you had your first bicycle. That was a very important day for you, because he's put that, please, into my mind. It's precious. All of this, you love mediumship, you're working in your own awareness too. You may well be working mediumistically, because I know that all of this is very precious to you and your evidence from spirit. Being positive is the key to all that we do. And from the love of our ones in spirit, how close they are, helps us to be very positive. Thank you, Stacey, for working with me. Bless you. Thank you.
One quick one, Stacey.
I've got the name Charlotte, so I may well need to speak to Charlotte here, or I've got a Charlotte in the spiritual world. It's very strong, Charlotte. And I want, please, to connect to someone who would understand a young girl in the spiritual world. She is gorgeous. She was very good at poetry. She makes me very much aware she was good at poetry. I know that this is a situation where there was leukemia. So she is a youngster. She feels around about 8 or 9. She did have leukemia. She had been very, very poorly at certain times, but she was in a remission. She was doing very, very well. In fact, I might even be speaking now, or need to speak to her mum. But I know whoever I'm going to speak to knows this youngster very, very well. So I've got a youngster. She is so beautiful. And I want to say to you, there is a photograph of her, which is in the well, there's one photograph over like a mantelpiece, or like a fireside. There's a fireplace, and there's a photograph that's been placed more or less to the right. I'm seeing it to the right of this fireplace, and there are 2 photographs in a bedroom. It feels like the same house. I've also got the name, I've also got the name Stacey. So anyone connecting, please, to Stacey, Stacey around you, Stacey being here. Stacey, you're still there, can you actually understand this information? Okay. So can I see if Stacey can understand some of this information, or can anyone understand a young girl? She passed to spirit. It was leukemia. She had been poorly during her life, her short life.
Yes, I think so.
Okay. So it may be that I am connecting to a young girl that loves to be part of this wonderful experience of mediumship, of spirituality, being present on our online, on our beautiful church here. And if no one can understand her, I'm going to say that she comes with lots of love and support for us all here. And so I'm going to thank her for being very present with me now. To just finish, because I feel she's brought in a lady, just quickly, can anybody understand a lady who had a budgerigar in a cage? The budgerigar is green, obviously did the pretty boy and all of that, was very, very vocal. All right, this budgerigar in a cage. I know there's a lady standing by the cage. She is a Nan. She says, I'm Nan. And yes, okay. And she is a lovely, lovely lady. She is very positive. She's got the pinny on. She's ready to start baking again. She loved her garden. She loves her slippers. She is a beautiful, beautiful lady. And she's saying, well done for all that's being done here. Well done to the whole world. There's a real sense that we need peace in our world. We need to get talking to one another and to enjoy this opportunity where, in fact, technology is bringing so many of us together in a way now that's so possible that perhaps we didn't embrace in the future, embrace in the past, but we can embrace in the future. May I please bring this mediumship to a close? Thank you, all of you, for your love, your support, and working with me. Thank you very, very much. Bless you.
Well done, Dorothy. Thank you very much indeed. Hope you enjoyed that. Something different, isn't it?
Yes.
Wonderful. Thank you. Right, we're now going to have Leslie Knight with her address for the morning.
Good morning, everybody. It's nice to be back here again in our Wimbledon Church service. When I was asked to do this address, I thought to myself, I haven't got a clue what I'm going to talk about. And I thought, okay, I'll ask Spirit, see where they guide me. I've had a very tough week this week, and I expect a lot of you have. There's been so many things going on, you know, so much sadness around us. And what with all the rioting and the protesting and everything else, you know, I look at I've stopped watching the news and I've looked at the internet and I think to myself, there must be something nice that's going on in the world. And I've really struggled this week. And when I sat and thought about it, Spirit said to me, well, turn it on its head. What good has come out from this virus? And I thought to myself, well, good. What good's come out from the virus? You know, people have lost their loved ones, their businesses and everything else. But when I sat and actually thought about it, there are so many positive things that have come about from this virus. I think it's brought everybody together, for one thing. I think it's made us appreciate things more. I mean, I know I've not seen my family. We speak on WhatsApp, and we'd be lost without the internet and things like that. And I've really missed them. But it's made me realise how important family is, how important my friends are, how I miss chatting to my friends, how I miss that close contact with them. I'm a bit of a touchy-feely person. I like, you know, if I meet somebody, I like to give them a cuddle, and, you know, and I've really, really missed that. And it's made me appreciate just how wonderful life is. I know when this first started and we were locked in, I mean, I've only been going out once a week to go and get my shopping. Unfortunately, I can't walk far anyway, so I don't go for long walks or anything, but I've got a garden, so I'm lucky I can go in my garden. And I thought, I want to put some plants out. Well, at that time, there was nowhere open to get plants. So in my wisdom, I thought, well, I need colour in my garden. I need upliftment. I'm good. So I ordered myself a lot of plastic plants and a lot of silk plants, and I put them in my garden. It did make such a difference, and it really uplifted me. And yesterday I went and bought some actual plants from Tesco's when I was in Tesco's, and they look so different. When I look at the plants and I look at the flowers, I appreciate them more. And I don't know whether others of you feel the same, that we actually appreciate the things around us, where I know we did before, and I know life was precious and everything else, but I think it's made us really think more about things. I've been looking at the sky, and I keep saying to my partner, there's no clouds in the sky when the sun shines. Now, normally I like a little bit of sunbathing, so I go and sit outside, and the clouds come over, and I think just as I go out, the clouds have come over, and I think, oh, I've got to go back in again now. The sky has been totally blue. There's been no clouds at all. I look at the water. I've got a river at the bottom of my garden. It's absolutely perfectly clear, and I know all around the world there's been things of dolphins going into Venice, in the waters in Venice. The birds even. Sorry, Richard? You had some in Portsmouth. I know, it's just absolutely incredible. The birds sound different. I've got birds in the trees outside my place, and I think I used to take it for granted. And I think a lot of us do. And now when you listen to the birds singing, I did a meditation the other week, and somebody said, oh my goodness, I don't know whether it was my imagination, but I could hear the birds singing. And I'm sure, and I know Jackie has said before, when, we've done these services, the birds are so loud. It's absolutely incredible. I do think this virus has given our world a chance to heal. Yes, okay, it's awful and I hate it, and the loss and everything else. And yes, it does bring us down, and it is so depressing. But let's try and look on the other side of things. Let's try and look on the positive side. The fact that it's given our world a chance to heal that it would have never had before. Maybe when this is over, we will look at things so differently. We won't leave our rubbish when we go out. Not that I do anyway, but maybe people will think more about our environment than they do now. Even the small things, I appreciate the people, the dustmen, the way they come and pick our rubbish up. I've never even thought about it before, but all through this virus, they put themselves at risk to come and get our rubbish. How would we cope without them? Without the bus drivers, without the people that work in the shops, that probably we just take for granted. We don't really think about it. It's so important that we take all these on board. I know, obviously, our NHS has done a wonderful job, and I think we all appreciate the NHS, and we always do appreciate nurses and doctors. But I think it's quite often the other people that are around us that doing the little things that we don't appreciate. And it's made us think about things. I know if I've been outside or I've been in my garden, and I've occasionally walked to my car to do different things or get things out of my car, people are so friendly. You stand in the queue at Tesco's and people start talking to each other. We wouldn't normally do that. We'd be so busy in our lives, we just bundle into the shop and bundle out. People are saying hello to each other. They're saying thank you. Even saying thank you to the man that's standing on the door at Tesco's as you go in, and you think, oh, he's stopped it just before I should have gone, means I've got to stay here for another 10 minutes or whatever. But just saying thank you to him. And it seems to have brought the best out. Okay, it might have brought the worst out in a lot of people, and I don't want to think about the negative things. But it's brought so many nice things out in people and how they chat and smile. It's like if it snows. I always find if it snows, everybody starts talking to each other. You'll go to slip over and you say, are you all right? And I think it's the same thing with the virus. It's brought us closer together. I know with the internet, those of you that know me, I have to be dragged up onto the platform once every or twice a year to do a presentation for my healers, or if I'm dragged on to do mediumship. I never thought the day would come that I'd be here on the internet. And we're able to touch so many people. Our services today, you know, with Richard, with his spiritual productions, we're touching so many people. We're talking about our beliefs. You know, we're spreading the word of our spiritualism and our religion. And it doesn't even have to be a religion. It's just bringing people together. And it's so wonderful. I mean, I've been watching other services from different churches, places where, you know, Paul, Dorset, all over the place, where I'd never be able to go. But it's lovely to be able to bring us all together. And as Jackie said earlier, you know, we are one. And that feeling of unity, joining us all together, being able to spread the word of our spiritualism. Somebody's just put up, I love your positivity. I promise you I'm not positive all the time, and I've struggled as much with this as everybody else has, especially this last week. I really, really have struggled. But Spirit said to me, come on, now look on the bright side. Where's your faith? Look on the good things that have happened with this. Look at all the good things that have come out of this. And I think that's what we've got to do. That's what we've got to do to get to the end of this virus, to the end of this lockdown. You know, people have been there for each other. We've got as Jackie said earlier, we've got a group for our church, our Spiritualist Church. And we all speak on there. I don't say a lot because I have other things to do, but I always say good morning, good evening, and odd bits I put in and out. But it's lovely for those people that are on their own and haven't got anybody, that we're able to all join together to make sure they're all right. You know, I've got neighbours that are on their own, and if you see them, you know, I try and have a chat over the garden fence and whatever, just the silly little things to make sure everybody's okay. And I think it's so important that when this lockdown's over, that we carry on doing that we don't ignore each other. You know, we don't walk past somebody without saying, good morning, how are you? Isn't the sun shining? Isn't it wonderful? You know, do you need anything? Do you need shopping? You know, is there anything I can do for you? Let's carry on helping each other. Let's carry on keeping that feeling of unity that we've got now and take it forward with us. It's love, isn't it? As they say, love conquers all. Let's send out our love to the world, to our friends, to our families. And when we feel down, and we all will, because there are times that, you know, it doesn't matter how spiritual you are, you know, how you always try and look on the positive side. There's always going to be times when we feel a bit low. And when we do, think of our friends and our family. Think of cuddling our friends and family. Look out the window. Look at the trees. Look at the flowers and the birds. There's so much peace around. You know, so much things that we should be grateful for. And we mustn't forget that. We must always be there for each other. There's so many people. I think people have realised now, since we've been in isolation, just what it's like to be lonely. There are people that live like that all the time. There are people that go weeks without seeing anybody. Say hello to them. You know, once this is over, knock on their door. Say, is there anything I can do for you? You know, you're not alone. And I think we realise that, you know, we with our church family at Wimbledon, we are a family. We're not a church. We do have our congregation, but at the end of the day, we're a family. And when somebody walks through the doors of our church, they come into our family and they're part of our family. And I'm getting quite emotional now because to me, that is so important. When this is over, if you can, come to church. If you can't, get in contact with one of us. You know, Ray, Jackie and myself, we're ministers of the church. Rosie's a minister. Get in touch with one of us. You know, we're on Facebook. We're on WhatsApp. If you've got a problem, don't be scared to ask to talk to us, to come into our church, to speak to somebody. We're all friends. It doesn't matter if you're on your own. You won't be on your own for long because we're all going to be there. And we're going to be with, you know, we're going to unite again. And this isn't going to get the better of us. If anything, this is going to bring us closer together. They're talking about a new world. I don't really want a new world. I quite like my old world. You know, I like my old family and I want to get back to things as they were. But Let's bring things forward and let's join together and unite. And before I stop my address, I was just asked by Spirit, and before I pass over to Ray, can I just ask you to just close your eyes? And I want you to just close your eyes just for a few minutes, and I want you to visualize our world, visualize our planet. And around that world and around our planet are people from every colour, every nation, every religion. It doesn't matter. And look as they all join hands. There's thousands and millions of people around our world joining hands. It doesn't matter what colour your skin is. It doesn't matter what religion you are. It doesn't matter where you come from. We're all one. And as you close your eyes and you join hands with all those around the world, feel that feeling of unity, the feeling of love. And I want you to send that love out to our world, to our planet, and to everybody in our planet. And when you get a moment, whether you're sitting on the toilet, whether you're in the bath, when you get 5 minutes to yourself, just sit and do that. And know that this is going to bring us together. This is going to make us one. And this is going to help us to love each other. And with that, I'm going to send you all my love and my blessings. And I'm going to pass you back to Ray. God bless you all.
Well done, Leslie. Thank you very much indeed. And I have thanked Dorothy as well for your mediumship. It's been a wonderful morning. My voice is just about to go. But I'd like to thank everybody for today. And I promise you, somehow or other, we're going to continue these virtual services on a Sunday from Wimbledon Church. Ashley and I are going to go to church Tuesday with Jackie to try and work out plans how we can do this. And we're going to hopefully open the church in July, maybe August, with all social distancing. There's so much involved to keep you safe. And that's what's important. We have to remember, we have to keep ourselves safe. And I know a lot of the turmoil of this week has been with Lloyd, who was, I want to say, killed by the police in Minnesota. And someone like Jackie and I and Ashley and Ivan who's been to Minnesota, it's such a beautiful place. And it's not a place where you expect that sort of history to happen. But we've got to stand united with this. We've got to stand united because somebody said to me about people shouldn't say Black Lives Matters. Yes, they should, because we're not black. We don't know what it's like to live in a black world and the negativity. I remember my friends in Brixton going through terrible, terrible things with police just because they were black. And we have to understand, we need to stand solidly behind some of this. The violence is terrible. I cannot stop that. And nobody can stop that other than the people who are doing it. But they're not part of all what's happening. So we need to be united as one family in this world and put our hands up and share that love and that peace of the Spirit and be aware that we are not alone. And once we have made contact with Spirit, they never leave us. They never doubt us. They are with us. So I'm going to hand you over to Jackie, who's going to do the closing meditation. God bless you all. Hope to see you next week. Peace, be still. Bye-bye.
If we can just close with our prayer before we have the meditation. And I just want to say thank you for all the other comments that have been appearing on the screen. There's many of you saying hello to us, so it's wonderful to have you all. It's lovely hearing from our family, all our friends that are our family. So if we just thank our Father, Mother God, for allowing us all to be here today, for keeping us well, for keeping us strong, for our Spirit inspires, for being close to us, for our family from the spirit world coming close to us, those that were lucky enough to be able to talk to their family through the wonderful mediumship that we've seen this morning from Dot. But those of you that haven't, know that your loved ones are around you, continue to be there with you. And I ask a blessing on all heads represented here, all families, until we see you all again next Sunday. May God, your God, walk with you. Amen. Okay, and I want you to be getting ready, because what we've been doing at the end of each service is a meditation for ourselves. So I want you to make sure that you're comfortable, and then I'm going to ask Richard also if there are any notices that I need to make you aware of for this weekend, if we have any afternoon events. So watch on the screen and you'll be able to see that it's the Sunday sofa at 2:30, or from 2:30, because sometimes technical issues don't always make it exactly on the button, but that's normally that we're getting it ready. And so I know that includes live readings this afternoon, and that's a regular, that's very popular. So if you are able, you've got time to go have a sandwich and come back to watch the Sunday sofa this afternoon. And I just want to say there's also Spirit and the Paranormal, which will be coming up on your screen on YouTube. So keep it real, spiritual and paranormal events. Join us for a live chat show with your comments and feedback. And that's from 8 p.m. And tomorrow we have an event coming up as well. So watch. Oh, and we have the Ian Mason show on Monday at 12:30 p.m. Well, that will be
Ian
wonderful.
does wonderful mediumship and discussions and chats, and he also does a very good song and dance.
Yeah, and he's great. He's a great friend, helps us out at Wimbledon.
He's a great friend to Wimbledon Church.
And glad to have him as part of, our spiritual family. So, and obviously we have Leslie's meditation next week. For those of you that didn't see Ashley's event on philosophy and the meaning of God, that was on Friday on Facebook for Spiritual Productions. You might find you're still able to go in and re-watch it. I'm not quite sure how the technology works. So therefore, you know how to get into the Spiritual Productions. I know some things on YouTube and some things just go straight onto Facebook. You can find all past shows in Spiritual Productions. So if you've missed it or you want to watch something again, or share it with a friend, share a link, then you know that you can go there. And same with the meditations. As Leslie said on her Friday meditation, if you can come back to this meditation any time you feel the need of a meditation. And that was a lovely meditation on Friday and some lovely words in your address, Les. So we will just in a moment have some wonderful screens showing up on YouTube and Facebook of some very peaceful scenes of the sea and the sky and the greenery of the countryside and the mountains. And I will just talk over those. If we have any technical problems, and luckily we haven't this service, touch wood, so far, that we would just be able to to go through that. Oh, and also you can support us. You can support going into Spiritual Productions and, becoming a member there. And you can come to PayPal with LAD promotions and, donate to the church. Because if you're part of a local church, then know that your church is still having the expense of all its utility bills and insurances. So make sure that you try to support your local Spiritualist church so that when this pandemic is over, there's still Spiritualist churches to go to, because there are many hidden costs that people don't think of. They don't just stop when the doors are closed. So please support us if you can at the church and at Spiritual Productions, promotions. Keep getting those two mixed up, and I don't know why. So. Okay, well the meditation is ready, so please begin to take a few deep breaths, begin to just, relax, perhaps move your neck if you've been sitting and you're a bit stiff, move your shoulders and your fingers. Begin to see, so I'm just going to start off with a lovely sunrise, so take yourself outside leave these four walls that have been driving us crazy, take ourselves out and look at the we see walking along the beach with our feet in the wet sand, just feeling the warmth of the sand, feeling the breeze on our face, and it's a wonderful warm breeze. It's a feeling of freedom, a feeling of having no cares in the world. It's just us and nature, just walking slowly to the sea. We're just taking more of a bird's eye view of the ocean as the waves are rolling in. There's a wonderful misty mountain on the horizon. There are some clouds on the sky, but they're good weather clouds. And we're now looking through a field of corn as we once again see the sunrise coming up over the ground and giving a beautiful light to the whole horizon. And we're seeing the rays of the sun as they reflect on the leaves of the tree in a clearing. And you can just see there's hundreds of lights all forming together, all taking a ray of sunshine from the sun, reflecting as the leaves just sway just gently in the breeze. Just feel that togetherness with nature. Feel that breeze. We're in harmony with nature. All is well. Feel the warmth of that sun as the breeze hits the leaves. Just feel the freedom, the freshness. We can smell the fragrance of the tree. As we see the little robin taking food to his nest, looking up, seeing what sort of a day he's going to have. Just the peace of watching him, having the time. And now we're seeing a beautiful lake with mountains surrounding and thousands of stars, wonderful stars, and some of them zooming so fast that you wonder if we're actually seeing sort of rays of all sorts of different things in the universe going across so fast. Seeing the skylight above dark clouds, just thousands of stars. Going across the ocean, looking at the islands in the distance, the sun really hazy, going down below the rolling hills and mountains, filling the sky up with the pinks and the orange and the yellow from the dew of the sun, the darker colours nearest the earth. And we know that we are lucky enough to have had that sun, and it's reflecting on a calm sea. There's a wonderful glow coming towards us, as though it's taking us on that pathway to the sun. A colour of yellow being given to us so that we are able to learn, able to reach for that sun. And now we have the light once again. We have the waves of the sea going over all of the boulders on the beach. Just see the rolling of these wonderful waves. And this weekend is a memory of a wonderful friend of ours, Jill Hay, who passed to spirit at this time. And we know that she's often with us and with our partner Joe. And as we see that wonderful sight, that feeling of freedom, we know that Jill is around us, and feeling that freedom, feeling that ability to travel where you want to. Imagine yourself as a bird up in the sky. Imagine yourself perched on the rocks, looking out and knowing that you can just go anywhere that you want to. With just a total feeling of peace. Let's take in a couple of nice deep breaths. Inhale all that is good to us, and exhale all that is no good to us. Look on that horizon. Think of it as your first day again. Going out to the sea, looking at the rocks, looking at the sun and the horizon, knowing our life journey is ours. Knowing we have the personal responsibility. There is mist now in the air coming off of the sea, making it very mystical as we see the trees very close together, forested woods, right on the cliff's edge. We're just slowly going over the sea, looking at the horizon, feeling that feeling of freedom, taking in the beauty, looking at the rolling hills into mountains, and the mist just lifting up, travelling with us, but below us. And now a wonderful calm sea, the beautiful rolling hills that we see with a shadow. You can see the sun behind the clouds, but we know that the sun is there with us. If it's not on us, it's with someone else, giving someone else a new horizon. Let's have that as an attitude for the week. It's another new day, new horizon. Fly on the wings of an eagle across these wonderful woods and trees, still seeing some of the mist below us, feeling the sun of the horizon in the far distance, knowing that we are enlightened and that we're going on an enlightened journey, following the sun. Even if we can't see the sun itself, we can feel its warmth, we know it's there. We're now looking at the wonderful mountains with the snow on top, looking at the wonderful reflection in the lake, looking at the woods as they are in shadow, seeing that beautiful reflection, feeling that wonderful harmony, that feeling of peace and serenity, that feeling of stillness. As we've moved further out into the water, we can see a boat going across very slowly. Know that we're the captain of that boat. Sometimes we feel as though we're just hanging onto the sides. Sometimes we feel the waves are too vast, too strong for us. But this is a nice calm sea. So therefore we're starting again, and we're the captain. We're moving that boat forward on our journey. We have those beautiful blue colours, wonderful meditative blues, all going from a darker blue to a lighter blue to almost a creamy white. With our boat just slowly going across the sea. Be captains of your own boat this week. Make sure you're in the driver's seat and not clinging onto the top. Just follow yourself through the calm waters, looking at the wonderful greenery of the shoreline, seeing the light clouds above, but knowing once again the sun is just over the horizon. This is our last few seconds of our meditation. So as we come back, make sure that we are grounded again. Make sure that we can feel our feet firmly on the ground. Make sure that we are rooted as trees back into our world. But know that we can also dip back into this meditation when we need it, to protect ourselves, to heal ourselves. Just of serenity, right to the woods and the mountains. No, it's our secret place, our place of harmony. And I say God bless you all until we see you again next Sunday. And thank you. My love and thanks to everyone working with us today, for Dot and for Les, and for all of you for tuning in. Goodbye. Bless you all.